Good afternoon, peeps. How are you doing? On this Friday afternoon, talking a little sports. Quickly, Kishane Thompson won the men's 100 meter over in Selesia, Poland today, clocking a meet record of 10.87, and that was good for Kishane. Noah Lyles was second in 9.90, and of course Kenneth Benerick was under this first defeat in the 100 meter for the season, posting 9.96 for third. But Akeem Blake finished in 8th position at the back of the pack, and that's not such a good showing for him. But well done, Kishane Thompson. Right, that was a clap back, having not won the gold medal at the Paris Olympic, out by 5/1,000 of a second, to come back at this point now to actually get the better of Noah Lyles. We say kudos to Kishane Thompson. I'm going to jump quickly over to the women's 100 meter also. Tia Clayton, as you are aware, suffered an injury in the finals of the women's 100 meter at the J3 National Championship, and so she finished at the back due to injury. But in her first race today in the women's 100 meter final, since her injury, Tia Clayton posted a personal best of 10.82 seconds. Massive running, only her first race. And one shudder to think what time Tia Clayton would have posted at the J3's National Championship in the women's 100 meter final had she not sustained that injury. But she is in good stead, and I would say, how do you exclude someone from the women's 100 meter pool who posted 10.82? I think this is probably the fourth fastest time in the world this year. Does Jamaica have the luxury to exclude a Tia Clayton? 10.82, notwithstanding what the rules are. Because for me, the rules is a professional thing, If we find athletes who are exceeding the performances of individuals who finish in the top three at the national championship, we cannot just simply discount them and write them off, Because we are not really sending rules to the world championship, We are sending our best talent. The whole idea is to win medal, not to give people an opportunity to compete. That's not what it's about, really. And we're not talking about people who are performing on the margin. We are talking about people who are performing exceptionally well. 10.82 is not a time to scoff at, Then the women's 100 meter hurdles, I am somewhat concerned about Akira Nugent. Because she was running better earlier in the year, and she was doing good at the Diamond League, not the Diamond League, the Diamond League, and also the Grand Slam. But it would seem to me that her performance has fallen off. I don't know if it's a matter that she's loaded, or she had an injury and she's recovering, or I don't know if she was compensated by Grand Slam. And if she was not, I don't know if it is playing a role in terms of, affecting her mental state. I don't know. But Akira Nugent, I was expecting much better from her at this stage, in the season. Nevertheless, she ran 12.43, and she came 7th. Now to run 12.43 and come 7th, that's no ordinary feat, because their championship in the past with 12.43 would have declared you the winner. But Masai also continued to show just how imperious she looks. 12.19 to win. That's awesome. Megan Tapper finished at the back of the pack. I think she did 12.66. I mean, she could be loaded. Don't know, but it is what it is. And Karsten Warholm, again, a meet record 46.28. Awesome running today, But suffice it to say, the questions still remain. Does Jamaica have the luxury to exclude athletes who have posted 9.82 and 10.82 seconds in Brian Level and Tia Clayton? Do we have the luxury to just simply say we are following the rules and we can scoff at 9.82 because it came too late? Do we have the luxury? I mean, do we have the luxury to do that? To just dismiss a 9.82, to just dismiss a 10.82? Do we have the luxury to do that? I mean, I'm all for fair play and I'm all for the rules, but even rules have exception. There are exceptional, unusual situation that requires now going to the exception clause. Because clearly to me, if you're going to send people to the World Championship, seeing that they are not performing at a certain level, because these people are not going to miraculously perform, But who we see performing right now is Tia Clayton and Tia Clayton in the 100 meter. And certainly I think both of them should actually get a spot in the 100 meter. Because at the end of the day, we are hunting medals. We are hunting the gold, the silver, or the bronze. We want podium finishes. If we can't win the gold, then certainly the silver or the bronze will do. And that's my take on the matter today. Elaine Powell. And yeah, man. Good day, madam. Good day to you. So it's a quick Saturday sports. We're just talking quickly, just looking at what happened at the Diamond League in Selesia, Poland today. And to see what we can make of it in terms of the form of our athlete. One thing I can say, there are some individuals who constantly talk about this Eugene track is fast, and that is why Melissa Jefferson ran 10.65 in Eugene. Hey, Melissa Jefferson ran 10.66 today in Selesia, Poland. It was not Eugene. So let us just scrap this nonsense about the track. Sometimes, I mean, when our athletes run fast, we don't say these things. But when other athletes run there, we talk about Eugene track and Eugene track. Well, she came and she ran 10.66 today. So give her props, give her due. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Melissa Jefferson is going to be a force to reckon with this year. Alfred, I don't know what she has planned. She ran a 10.75 and a 10.77 this year. That is Julian Alfred. But that was even bettered by Jefferson, who ran a 10.73, a 10.75, a 10.65, and a 10.66 today. That's a model of consistency. And, I mean, barring unforeseen occurrences, it's really hard to bet against Melissa Jefferson or Julian Alfred, particularly Melissa Jefferson, who has looked imperious, certainly in the 100 meter. Shericka Jackson, she won the 200 meter today in a 22.17, a season's best, pedestrian by her, very high standard, but nonetheless a season best for her. And the trajectory is looking good for Shericka Jackson. She's lowering her time. And as you know, the World Championship will be in a month's time from today. So maybe she has enough time to unload and to maybe take us back to that vintage Shericka Jackson performance, which would mean that Jamaica would be in good stead. But Tia Clayton seemed to be destined to go to the Diamond League final. And if she reached the Diamond League final, assuming Jefferson don't report or Alfred don't report to the Diamond League final, Tia Clayton could very well win the Diamond League final and get a bye to the World Championship and make life easy for everyone. But if that is not the case, the question is, can we leave out a Tia Clayton out of the 100 meter? And should we leave out a Brian Level? I would really like to see Brian Level get another crack at the 100 meter. So far, he has gone 9.82. Let's say he runs the 100 meter again and goes sub 9.8. What are we going to do? Are we going to see even as Akeem Blake seems to be struggling to me? Because in my opinion, Akeem Blake he has not looked competitive. He has not looked like he's ready to even challenge for a place in the final. That's just my opinion. I know he came third at the national trial, but that is a moment in time. That is like a snapshot. And I understand the rules, but I believe that beyond the rules, there should be some caveat to say the top three is provisional, and if subsequent performances significantly eclipse performances of the third string athlete, then that athlete can be replaced in the individual event. I don't see, for example, if a level runs the next time and run a 9.7 something, we are going to say, but he did not do that at the championship. So what? He would have done it before the close of the cutoff point that people use to qualify themselves, those who have not yet met the qualifying standard. So suppose level, which he has already done, 9.82 is the second fastest time by a Jamaican this year, and overall the giant third fastest time. Because it will be Kishane, then Brian Level, then Oblique Civil at 9.83. That's the top three, right? And Brian Level is giant number 3 in the world. Then suppose Level goes on now to even lower his time to below 9.8 seconds. What are we going to do? Simply say that although Blake is a much slower athlete than Level at this time, he came third at the national championship, so he has to go nonetheless. So are we sending rules to the world championship, or are we sending our most talented athletes? What are we going to the world championship for? Is it not in the hunt for medals? Is that not the primary objective, to make it on the podium and to win the gold primarily, and if not the gold, at least the silver or the bronze? We're not sending rules to the world championship. I mean, the rules represent to me a guideline, but you cannot be shackled entirely by the rules when there are other more impressive factors to look at. You cannot be completely shackled by the rules. Rules are not meant to shackle you. Rules were meant to just create a guideline as to how we should operate. But it cannot be the be-all and the end-all of everything. There has to be caveats, exception clauses. In the event such occur, then this apply. That's how I look at it. But for me though, I'm concerned about the men's 110 meter hurdlers. I'm really not impressed by them. I'm not seeing anything to even show me that these guys can challenge for a podium finish. I don't see. I'm hopeful, but I don't see. I'm just being real now. The 100 meter, I think Kishane and Oblique can bring home the gold and the silver. I honestly believe that both Kishane and Oblique, once they execute properly, they can bring home the gold and silver. And that would really be a very momentous occasion for Jamaica, especially given what happened to us in the 100 meter last year, losing by the thinnest of margin. So, we'll have to see what will happen in the near future, which is just a month away. Certainly, I would like to get better results from Akira Newton. Certainly. Today, Daniel Williams posted 12.31, a personal best for fourth. Can you imagine that? When somebody run their personal best, what more can you ask? And she came fourth. But Daniel Williams is rounded into shape, and she's one you don't discount, because remember, Williams, she has won the world championship title on 2 occasions. I think 2015 and 2019, I think it was. No, 20 it was 2019 and 2023. Sorry, my bad. So 2019, 2023, I think so, yeah. So what I am saying, is that Daniel Williams is one of those individuals that will spring the surprise on you. You dare not write her off, you dare not count her out. And so far, she seemed like when she goes on the international circuit, she outperforms even those who shine better than her when they're at home. She's pedigree, she's class. There's a form is temporary, but class is permanent. Daniel Williams is class, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. However, people like Masai Russell, boy, you just cannot look past. And Toby Amasan too, you can't look past Toby, because Toby was in the top 3 today. I think the other girl was I think she was, is that Armstrong that came second? But I know Amasan was in the top 3 today, right? So, right now, that was a really fast race. 12.19. That was a fast race, man. The women are kicking it. I'm not too impressed by what I'm seeing with our men, and I'm just really not impressed. I mean, Broad Bell would have been our best hope to get a medal this year, but Broad Bell is out, and so it is what it is. But Tia Clayton has defied the odds to show that just one race since the championship in Jamaica, J3 National Championship, she rebounded with a 10.82, a personal best. You do not discount performances like those. Owen Forbes, my brethren, Japo, blessings. Let's talk in a little track and field. Today is Saturday, man. Talking a little track and field. Based on what we have seen at the Selesia Diamond League in Poland today. If you came on late, or for those who don't know yet, Kishane Thompson won the men 100 meter in 9.87, equaling the meeting record. And of course, Noah Lyles was second in 9.90, and Kenneth Benerick was third in 9.96. Over on the women's side, Melissa Jefferson continued her good form, posting 10.66. It is a meeting record, and the second fastest time in the world this year, only second to her 10.65 that he did at the USA National Championship in Eugene a week ago, and or 2 weeks ago. And Tia Clayton was second, posting 10.82. And I think Marie Osei-Talu was third in 10.87. And our own darling Tina Clayton was fourth, I think, in 10.91. So it was a pretty fast race, a decent race. And Shericka Jackson, of course, won in a very close battle, 22.17, in the 200 meter. It was good to see Shericka Jackson winning a race, because when you win, it does something to your psyche. It makes you, when you win, and if you keep winning, you will do great things. But when you're not winning, then it put undue pressure on you, mentally, emotionally, even physically too. Because everything starts with the mind, and that energy is transmitted to every aspect of your being. So once you start winning, then we should see good things from Shericka Jackson. I'm hopeful that Shericka, you could see today she was relieved. You looked in her eyes, you saw that fire, that she's starting now to believe in herself once again, that she can do it. Because as we know, this year Shericka really has not been at her imperious best, and she has been way off. I would say not just marginal off, she has been way off pace. So to see her coming here now, run at 22.17, a decent time in my opinion, and winning, I think it will embolden her. I think it will encourage her to do well. So we are just a month away from the World Championship in Tokyo, and things are looking good. But there are some gaps. There are some gaps. Let us not fool ourselves. There are some gaping holes, and there are some holes that we can plug to. But we just have to have the courage to do what is best for Jamaica. Sometimes doing what is best for Jamaica, will hurt some athletes, because they will feel cheated out. But if you are not maintaining form, if you are just not maintaining form, you cannot go back to June 27th, and say, hey, you come third or you come second or you win. You can't just make that a reference point as your validation, as your passport, so to speak, to the World Championship. It's all about currency. Your current performance. Have you been maintaining form, or are you falling off? Because certainly, I've seen athletes run since the World Championship, and they are not really maintaining form. They are falling off. And I've seen Tia Clayton come one race, bam, 10.82 personal best. How do you discount that? That is showing the pedigree of this young lady. This is showing the mettle, the championship mettle, and the confidence that she has to deliver such a very impressive time at this point. So we cannot discount that. I think it is Tia's time to shine, as it is Tina's time to shine, and Tia and Tina represent Jamaica's best hope in the 100 meter right now in terms of a podium finish. I don't see any other athlete that we have who are going to finish ahead of Tina and Tia at the World Champ. I don't see it right now. Tense Edmond, blessings. Mario Tomlinson, blessings, my general. Yeah, don't want to be long today, because it's just talking sports. And I'm just saying that, we are still within that period for qualification for those who have not yet achieved certain qualifying standards, And even although there are athletes like even Tia Clayton who have already achieved the qualifying standard for the World Championship in the 100 meter, because of the injury, she did not finish as expected, right? But she was the fastest woman going into the final with 10.86. And she has lowered that to 10.82, a PB. And we have seen Brian Level. He got hurt also in the 100 meter. We saw that, and that's why I finished at the back. But subsequently, we have seen a 9.82 from Brian Level. And we not just that 9.82, that was followed up with a 19.69, the third fastest time by a Jamaican in history. And it is the third fastest time in the world this year also, behind Noah Lyles and Kenneth Benerick, 19.63 and 19.67. Now 19.69 per level, meaning that he has tremendous foot speed at this time. So how do we rule him out? Assuming that he wants to run the 100 meter, and I am thinking he wants to run the 100 meter. That's why he was entered in the 100 meter and the 200 meter at our national trials. Assuming that he wants to run the 100 meter and the 200 meter. I mean, why should we not allow him to run, especially over an athlete that is struggling, an athlete that even doesn't seem competitive? You send an athlete to run and he make the semi and then he don't move from the semi. And then we start scratching, boy, maybe we should send level in. I mean, sometimes we have to think out these things carefully, about, what's the best for Jamaica. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes what is best for Jamaica is not the best thing for an athlete, for some athlete. It's not about just earning your spot, but if someone supersedes your performance, leaps and bounds, how can you stop that person? I mean, we have to have a championship, but a championship records your performance at a moment in time, just like a poll, just like an election poll. It just gives a result, a snapshot result at that point in time. But life is not static. People move on, things move on, and sometimes we have to look at things that are happening subsequent to the championship. An athlete might just come out of nowhere and start doing incredible things. What do we do is say that athlete is for another time. No, I don't believe that. I always believe in, strike the rod while the fire is hot. While it is hot. Now, my final point now. Qualification time is running out for Christopher Taylor or anybody else for Rasheen McDonald, for Javon Powell, Mr. Sean Bailey attempted something the other day and Rasheen McDonald, and they were way off the standard, way off. And Christopher Taylor, he needs another shot before the 24th of this month. So I'm hoping that he achieves the qualifying standard. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for him. Time is running out. We are running out of time. Rasheen McDonald got a glorious opportunity at the national championship to qualify easily by way of time. And what he did, he showboated, and it cost him an automatic spot. Blessings to you, Mario. It cost him. Dennis Brown, blessings to you. And with the Cedric, is that Hudson? Blessings to you on the live today. Yeah, so, we are just hoping that someone like a Christopher Taylor, will come through. Someone like a Rasheen McDonald, Javon Powell, our quarter milers. And what about the women's 4x4? What will happen now? Because clearly, I'm not seeing anything happening with the women's 4x4. I mean, we had a world relay, and those ladies who should have showed up for the world relay, they did not. They focused on their individual event. They did not show up, in my estimation. They did not meet the qualifying time. And now we have to try to find some other meet, organize some other meet to see if we can get them to show up and to meet the qualifying standard and to get into the top, I think it's top 16. Otherwise, you're going to be out. You see, I have noticed something. From the first instance when the 4x4 men sabotage our effort to qualify, it's like a streak of bad luck has been following the quarter mile, the 4x4 men and female quartet. I don't know. It's like, give thanks that the men were able to qualify with second string athletes. But even now as we speak, the women are yet to qualify in the 4x4. So the 4x1 men are through, the 4x1 women are through, the 4x4 men are through, but the 4x4 mix and the 4x4 women, they are not through. So we have two relays that are outstanding now, the 4x4 women and the 4x4 mix. And we are running out of time. We are fast running out of time. Because after August 24, that's it. That's it. That's my understanding. After August 24, that's it. So what will up to you? Are too short. Anyways, thank you for joining me today on another Sports Live. Hoping to see you on another live. Hopefully at another diamond, after the conclusion of another Diamond League. Blessings to you all. Peace. Have a wonderful rest of the Saturday afternoon. Blessings.